My glasses are so dirty.
I just strained my neck trying to make a silly face. That's how you know you're getting old.
That's the most pathetic sentence I've ever heard. I was just trying to be a random kid, just like a teen. So relatable.
Random LOL. Hello, and welcome to VidCon, sort of.
They're not at VidCon.
No, I know, but that's where we are.
Hello, welcome to Nerdy and Quirky.
No, that's not what channel this is going on. Today... Hi, welcome to YouTube. Alright, so it is summertime, and I know that many of you are going to be starting college or going back to college, and so...
Like me, that's me! I'm just a hip teen looking for some hip memes.
Anyways, I invited on this actual incoming college freshman, Sabrina Cruz of Nerdy and Quirky,
Hello.
to ask some common concerns, questions, fears that people might have going into college, and with my wisdom, all 4 years post, well, 8 years since starting college.
Ooh, so much experience!
Wait, my high school graduation, like, 10-year reunion's almost coming up.
Oh my god, wait, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh my god, you're so small.
Small but swole.
Can't even.
I got so uncomfortable so fast.
Should I take morning classes or afternoon classes?
Oh, very good question.
Yeah.
If you take them in the morning, then you're already up for the rest of the day. You're
Yeah.
probably going to be more productive. However, it might be hard to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're probably thinking you woke up really early a lot throughout high school.
And my spirit died.
But also, it suddenly becomes harder to wake up that early in college. Maybe you went to a party the night before and had too many sodas, to my underage
I'm
college
just
freshman viewers.
So lit!
You do just stay up late, whether it's for partying or for studying, so it does become kind of hard. I find that, like, a 10 a.m. class was really a sweet spot.
Okay.
Sometimes there are night classes, especially if you take, like, cinema studies kinds of things, and those are the worst. I don't recommend those.
I don't want to deal with that.
Something that a lot of people are concerned about is rooming with people.
That is the thing that I'm concerned about. I have a roommate, and because there's rent to care about, there's, like, cleaning, but also more importantly, there's washrooms. Washroom
Or
scheduling.
bathrooms for the American viewers.
Again, wrong.
So what about washrooms?
Are you fine talking about poop schedules?
I literally just Snapchatted you asking if you pooped today, so I think I'm alright.
How do you plan a poop schedule? Pooping is like, it's controllable, but also not controllable.
Yeah. For people who are, like, living in dorm situations, I feel like this is something they should add to the survey. You know, are you a clean person or a dirty person? Do you like loud music? What's your poop schedule? Morning or an evening?
Apparently there are midday poopers as well. Just saying.
Yeah. If you have a roommate who you can talk to this about,
Okay.
that's really good, because I think probably what you'll find a lot of times is maybe you don't want to talk about that with your roommate, and so you get, like, the sneaky poopers, and they're like, I'm taking a shower, and you hear the shower going, but then, like, 8 minutes later you hear the toilet flush and the shower's...
Hi, that was me this morning.
Me too! Sharing washrooms, really anything sharing with a roommate, whether it's in a dorm situation or off campus, whether it's someone you knew before or not, I really recommend writing a roommate contract.
Okay.
This is something, if you're in a dorm situation, your RAs may require you to do, and I recommend you actually, like, take it seriously. Like, you might not want to, you might not want to talk about tough subjects when you've, like, just met someone, but it's gonna come in handy later, because, like, when you first start living together, you're like, everything's great, you're so nice, you're my best friend, and then, like, a couple months in, everything they do might start annoying you.
Okay.
And if you've got that contract of things you agreed on, like, we agreed you're not gonna have overnight guests if we didn't talk about it before.
Okay.
We agreed you're gonna poop at 6 a.m., not 6:15.
Scheduled the poop.
It's written in stone! If something gets really bad and you had it in the contract to begin with, then you can go to your RA and be like, they're breaking this part of the contract, can you please help mediate this situation?
Okay.
Off campus, it might be a little bit more awkward to be like, I wrote up a roommate contract. But, you know, at least try to, like, discuss it with each other. Think about things like playing music. Like, should you have earbuds in?
Okay.
Do you have certain TV shows you like to watch on certain days? When you're paying the bills and how you're splitting them?
This is true.
Money. Who's cleaning what?
Another thing. Recommended dishes for someone who's poor, but also can't cook.
Yes. You're gonna be in a kind of urban area, right?
Yes.
I assume you will not be driving?
No.
Having to learn how to only buy enough that you can carry while, like, walking?
Smart. Because I'm going from the suburbs with, like, a car all the time to...
A, you're just buying for yourself, so that's probably about as much as you need for a week, and 2, you can't afford more than that. Let's be real. Seriously, get one of the, like, the rewards card or whatever that most grocery stores will have. It's free to sign up for, and you'll get a bunch of discounts, and you can actually use coupons. Clip coupons.
I love coupons.
If you're going to a college, there's free food. all the time. That's the number one reason to join extracurriculars. Free food.
If you had to recommend one general course that anyone, no matter what field you're studying, would have to take,
what would it be? The number one thing I recommend to everyone is computer science.
Yeah!
Anyone in our generation who's not taking computer science is going to be so behind the kids growing up. And then the second one would be either art history or cinema studies.
Okay.
So how all of these things impacted people and impacted culture. And it's just like a really cool lens to learn about that through. You will then be like, oh yes, that classic film, or I can go to a museum and kind of understand some of these things.
Who are these peasants who don't know this?
I recommend not ever rooming in a triple if it's in a singular bedroom with
that
three people
seems like not sensical.
Hypothetically, you could maybe end up with two people who end up doing each other all year.
Did that happen?
Yep. Kept thinking they were gonna break up. Never happened. Yeah, you talk about a poop schedule for the bathroom. I never got to poop because sometimes they would be doing it in the bathroom because they'd try to be polite, but then sometimes they just thought I was sleeping and did it anyways. That is a real thing about college.
That happens?
If you are sharing like a dorm room, you will probably encounter the awkward thing of your roommate bringing someone back to the room. Maybe they'll kick you out and you'll get sexiled, which is annoying too, but better than them being like, yeah, they're totally asleep.
No, what if you just like rise up? No, no.
Yeah, you gotta decide how you're gonna handle it. If you're just gonna lay there being like, or if you're gonna confront them, which is probably the better thing.
Yeah, just don't let it, oh my god.
Sorry to the younger viewers, but any of you going into college, reality check for you. You gotta know what's coming.
I was so excited, and then suddenly like, oh, okay, that's...
but free food!
Yeah!
College is great! No, college really is great.
Okay,
I had a
I'm
blast.
super excited, actually.
In the comments, let me know if you have any questions, and one of us will answer, or if you have been to college.
Give me advice. I am so small. So small. No swole.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great in college. And everyone make sure to go check out Sabrina's channel and subscribe. It's real great.
You're too kind.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Stay regular.
Subscribe.
That too.
Yeah. That way better than my channel. Way more informative. A lot more waffles.
More, I will give you that one.
How do you end your video?
Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Oh, that was so sensual.
No.